started my Mary Kay journey March of 2012. Before that, I was a stay-at-home mom. We have 4 children, 10, 8, 5, and almost 3 at this point. They were very, very little, even smaller then. But, and so, you know, I am a hairstylist, so I do stuff on part-time at home. But, you know, 6 months previous to Mary Kay, Zach and I had really been praying about something that was going to continue to allow me to still be a stay-at-home mom. I'm good.
Aw, a Christmas napkin. That'll make it good.
And so we had been praying about it, and I knew that God called me to be a stay-at-home mom. And so I knew that I was supposed to be at home, but what was I going to be able to do to bring in an income to be able to continue to do my calling? And so we had been praying and praying and praying, and Zach was in a job where he was not happy, and he was not being appreciated, and just, you know, not being acknowledged for his hard work. And so this one particular day, I was on Main Street in Appomattox, and this car pulls in, and I see this Mary Kay logo on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, get in the car, kids, get in the car, it's Mary Kay logo. And my daughter was 8 at the time. She was like, Mama, look at that fancy lady.
Oh.
And, so I'm like, oh, I see her get in the car, and so I'm buckling in the baby, and I, you know, see Mandy walking by, and she's like doing this with her hair, and she cuts her eyes at me. I'm like, oh gosh, she saw me. So now mind you, I was in sweatpants. I was in mom gear, sweatpants, hair pulled back, no makeup
Minivan.
on. Just been to the grocery store. We stopped to get ice cream. And so anyways, as she walked on past me, I was like, oh my God. And so she, then, you know, I'm buckling in the kids, I'm getting ready to shut the van door, and I hear this click, 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 click behind me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's on. I turned around, and she hands me her card, and she was like, hi, Mandy Ayers. And I'm like, nope. So I literally put my hand in her face, told her no, I couldn't have a facial. You know, I see these 4 kids, I can't afford that. It's easier for me to grab something from Walmart. I gave her every excuse in the book as to why I was not going to further this conversation. And she was like, oh, well, you could probably use some extra income. And then I'm like, was she in my quiet time this morning? So I was like, well, yeah, I mean, who couldn't use some extra money, right? I have 4 children. And so she was like, well, let's get together, and I could share the opportunity with you. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh, gosh, now she's not, I don't listen to her. She's never going to leave me alone. And So I actually contemplated giving her the wrong number. Glad I didn't, because she called my phone, and at that moment, instead of hitting save, she hit send. My phone rang.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, that would have been really embarrassing. So anyways, 2 days later, we were supposed to meet, and I had a girlfriend of mine call and was like, oh my goodness, I got called into work, and you watch my little girl? And I was like, sure, it's an excuse to get out of this meeting. And so she had a 3-year-old, so I had my 3-year-old, her 3-year-old, and then my 1-year-old. And I called Mandy, and I'm like, hey, just don't think it's going to work. Or no, I texted her because I was a coward. So I texted her and was like, hey, I just don't think it's going to work. You know, I have to watch my friend's little girl, And so Mandy, being the smart one, calls me back and says, actually, I'm already on my way to your house, and I don't text and drive. And so, you know, that's the beauty of Mary Kay, is we can do Mary with our children. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like, well, she's right. So Zach was like, you know, I told her, like, she just will not leave me alone. And he was like, just hear what she has to say. He was like, it's, you know, so what? Just hear what she has to say. I was like, oh, darn scripture. So she did. She came over, and when she shared with me, I immediately fell in love. And, you know, knew from the beginning that being a consultant was a great thing, great benefits, great opportunity. But I wanted more than that. I felt like as soon as God laid this in my lap, that He wanted me to go and go all the way with it. And so I did. I hit the ground running, signed my first team member 3 weeks later. I actually went to career conference 2 weeks after I signed my first team member 3 weeks later. Hit Red Jacket within a couple of months, went to first seminar from Myrtle Beach. And then my son started having a lot of focusing issues, behavioral issues, grade issues at school last fall. And so actually had the flexibility to take a step back from working really consistently. During 6 months, I saw 6 faces, didn't sign anybody, but God sustained my team until I was ready to step up and step into directorship. I continued to have 8 active team members during that time. And so went into it and stepped back into my business in March, and I feel like God blessed me because I did practice what we tell women: God first, family second, and career third. Because in the fall, my family needed me, my son needed me, and so I did take a step back. And so when I honored him with that, he then turned around and blessed my business. And so I had to finish my star because I had missed 2 quarters, so I was not a star, so I could not submit DIQ. So I had to finish my star in a month. So always be a star consultant. Be just better to be safe and than to you never know what's going to happen. You don't want to have to finish your star in a month because that's what I did, and it is a challenge. But I did it. Submitted June 1st. Missed it by 2 team members the month before. Submitted June 1st and finished up October 1st. And it was a journey. It's a time of growth. You realize really how strong you are. And what you can accomplish, because there's some things I reached down in and did and didn't think that I could. And Zach and I brought us a lot closer together because we prayed a lot more during that time, and it was a huge blessing. And so if you're thinking that is directorship for you, if you're here, it is, because you've already proven that you can overcome an obstacle, that you already have faith to step out. So and who doesn't want to be in the top 2% of the company? I mean, it's talk about confidence when you say, hey, I'm a sales director. I just ordered my business cards with my picture on them because I was like, yeah, people need to put my name on my face. So
Mandy's about to get a hard label. FESD's long.
Well, I ordered my thing by back window, and it said Future Executive Senior Sales Director, and I'm like, Kathy, I need to put this on my car.
Yeah, get it done.
So, but yeah, if you ever thought it's for you, it definitely is, because it does provide you with the flexibility and